Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma, it's the weekend, and it's movie review time as always. And as you've seen, as you clicked on the video, it's Drive Away Dolls. So this is the new movie from Ethan Coen, so one of the Coen brothers this time. Don't know why he's decided to venture out on his own. He wrote this with another lady as well. Yeah, and so people, if you've not seen the trailer, you don't know what's going on. Basically, you have these two girls, Jamie and Marion, and they are going on this trip. Marion is going home to see her aunt, or her mum. Her mum. She's going on a mum, and they basically use this service where you can get this car, and basically you drive it to the place, and it's kind of a free lift. You just pay for fuel and stuff like this. So her and her friend decide to use this service and have to drive back, and then they realise that the car that they actually get isn't the one that they should be using. It's somebody else's, and there's a briefcase in that in the boot which has unusual stuff in it. I shall use it. And basically it's the story of how the people are after this suitcase and after them and blah blah blah, and then there is kind of a happy ending. What did I think of this? Is I didn't think too much of it, to be honest. It has a story, that makes kind of sense, but there are a lot of elements thrown in here and a lot of twists and turns. It's just some of the acting and how it's acted and how portrayed it, I found to be not the best. I'm not going to go too much into it now, we'll get into that. So I said there's nothing after the credits as far as I'm aware. It's a very short film, I think it's like an hour and a half. So yeah, if you watch the trailer and it seems interesting enough, please do go, but do be aware I don't think it will be you'll be coming out a bit more confused than you would be than knowing it. But anyway, let's slap the spoiler warning up, and we shall get into it. So this movie starts with a very surprising. So you have Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian. He's in a bar. He has his suitcase, and basically this waiter comes up and asks if he wants anything. He says no because he's looking at his watch. He runs out into the alley, and as he runs out into the alley, the bartender chases him. Turns around, stabs him in the neck with a corkscrew, stabs him in the other side with a pen. Then this car turns up and this bloke runs out of a chainsaw, and then that's it. That's how the film starts off. How it's shot is it's set in the 90s, like 1999 it says, but it kind of is set almost, or has elements of kind of a very old, the Batman and Robin, the TV series, all that stuff. It very much has almost that feel when I say some of the scenes of how they're shot, and then the running of the chainsaw down this alley. It was all kind of over the top, so to speak. So anyway, so that's it. Pedro Pascal is more or less done for his role in this movie. He is kind of used in a few ones. So anyway, so the scene revolves. You have these two lesbian friends. You have Marion, who is very free and wild, so to speak, and Marion, who's very reserved, and it leads to kind of the story of them, Marion breaking up with her friend because she obviously is very wild and stuff like this, and Jamie, and then Marion decides that she wants to go home to see her mum to just get away because she's not enjoying her life and stuff like this. So Jamie convinces her to use this service, Curly's, to get a car. They'll drive it from where they are, visit all the lesbian bars and stuff. There is quite a lot of lesbian themes and stuff throughout this. I'm not kind of sure why, but there is obviously partial nudity and sexual references as well. Just to let you know, I think it's rated 15, but I say it is, unless you're comfortable with that, that's what it is, So anyway, so you have these two friends who are both lesbians who then get in this car. They go to Curly's, they get a car, and they drive it from where they are to another part of America. As they go away, these gangsters turn up, and basically the briefcase that Pedro Pascal had is in a boot, also with something else that you don't know about. They were meant to pick it up, and that was why they dropped the car there, and unfortunately the owner confused the two girls with them because he didn't know who was supposed to pick it up. So you have these girls going round the kind of east to the south of America, visiting all the lesbian bars and stuff along the way, and very lesbian themed situations and stuff, while these two gangsters are following him. not the greatest of acting and portrayals. To say, like, there's a bit as the girls are going along their journey and the hijinks and these blokes are following them, they get a flat tire. When they go to check the spare, they find the suitcase. You don't know at that time what's in the suitcase, and you find the box which has got Pedro Pascal's head in it. Obviously one thing leads to another. These guys catch up with them, capture them, and then basically you realise that inside the briefcase is a set of 5 penises, dildos, whatever you would like to call them. And basically these are the owner, or one of them is actually the penis of the mayor, which is played by Matt Damon, who again, he, like Pedro, has about 1 or 2 scenes in it, and that's it. So the girls, due to some very weird situation how they play it, they get away from these guys because they more or less all get killed or run away. And they bribe the mayor and get for a load of money. He comes in, gives them the money, takes his briefcase, and then as he goes to try and kill him at the end, Jamie's ex, who's there as a police officer, she shoots him, and basically they kind of get the happy ever after. Now, as you may listen, you might be like, that doesn't sound like great. I mean, it has a story like these women are trying to go there and they are friends and then they kind of become a couple by the end of it. I don't think they have much chemistry. I didn't really see that come in, and even when it did come, it didn't necessarily make sure it feel. To me, it didn't seem like there was a need. It didn't seem like they were both, one didn't see the one who's free, Jamie, she didn't seem too interested in Marion, whereas maybe Marion was interested in her, and there was stuff like this. There were scenes, there's about 4 of them in between, where they just break up the movie by having kind of a 80s haze type thing, and then there's Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, she comes into 2 of them, and supposedly she's there as reference to a character who is known for making penises of somebody. No one would ever get the fact that they split this film up with this, and it's not like someone's been drinking or that. It's, you will have a scene where someone's in a hotel and the 2 girls, one's in a hotel, one's in prison. They have one of these scenes, and then the next scene they're in the car driving, and I'm like, but what happens to all of that? And it is, there were bits like, there were gaps in it. It was like, it really wasn't the greatest movie. I'm going to rate it 4.6 out of 10. And that's being probably generous. Actually, no, 4.5. We'll go 4.5 out of 10. Make it, round it down to make it an evenish one. Which for me isn't. If you're maybe just give it a watch, but I don't even give that. It's like someone's kind of had this story of like these 2 girls. They'll find this briefcase, and they want to add a lot of sexual themes in there. I'm not sure why. And I say there are certain points and characters where they mention stuff or do stuff, and how the girls get away. Like there is 2 henchmen, and one henchman saying to the other one of, he may have done something to him in the car, and that bloke then shoots him and then shoots his boss, and then goes to shoot the girls, realises he's used all these bullets, doesn't check the other guys, and just runs off. And it's just totally and utterly random. And that's kind of how the whole film-ish kind of plays out. It's almost like someone's gone, well, we'll get these 2 girls, and they'll have this journey. And then like, well, we need something to happen. Oh, we'll get some people to chase him. Okay, right, well, how will we get them to chase him? And something like that. Oh, we'll use a tank. They don't use a tank, but that's how like someone's just spat off these ideas. They've taken the first thing and just shoved it into this movie, and it is. And I mean, I've watched Coen Brothers, and I know sometimes they can be a little weird or out there, but this one just seemed like, I don't know how someone in the studio has approved this movie, because I don't see who it's supposed to appeal to or even make a lot of sense, and there must have been a pitch idea to the studios to say this is what we want to produce, and there was even probably screenings before they released it, because obviously this is one of the movies that got released at the cinema, and to be honest, a lot of people, I would imagine, there wasn't a lot in my cinema. There was a family watching this in my cinema, which I would have been, if I was those kids, I would have been well uncomfortable. And I mean like teenage to adult kids who were watching it. But yeah, I must admit, this has been so far a lackluster year of movies. There has not been a lot I've liked, and the more I'm watching these, the more I'm seeing these sort of movies come out, and I'm a bit like, I know, don't get me wrong. I appreciate people thinking up new ideas and stuff like that, but there's no like cohesion through them. There's so many gaps and stuff that doesn't make sense, and I don't know how you would, you can call yourself a director and get this stuff made. I mean, what do I know? I'm just Joe Blogs. I'm sure if I was given the reins to do these movies, I would definitely have a different way to approach these. But anyway, that has been my review of Drive Away Dolls. Have you seen this movie? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've decided for Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.